I'm Jean Denia. I'm the campus principal here at Tenby Schools, Penang. I've been in Penang since August 2019, but I've been in Tenby since August 2013. So this is my third Tenby school. We were the biggest private group of international schools in Malaysia because we had the schools in Ipoh, we had schools in KL, we had schools in Johor, we had this school in Penang, and then obviously the school I was in. So it was a good decision because it was an established group, been around since 1960 with a very strong heritage. And then obviously Tenby in 2018, we became part of the International Schools Partnership. And then we became part of a much bigger family. You know, now we're over 80 schools around the world. So that obviously brings a lot of benefits for not just for me as a leader and my staff, but for our students and our community, that we can be part of this global family of schools and we can benefit and learn, interact and connect with each other. As part of the International Schools Partnership, our mission is to grow the world's most curious and confident minds. And I think that's something that we've thought about a lot. And so our vision is to create an environment for our children for holistic learning, where they can be encouraged to take risks, make mistakes, become independent learners, but most of all that we are preparing them for a future that is unknown, because we don't know what the future holds. The world of work is changing so rapidly. I always say to parents, if you're trying to prepare your children for a future based on careers that you know now, you will fail. You need to prepare them for careers that don't even exist. And so we are trying to create the skills in our students, instill those skills and attributes that will help them to be confident in the future. Generally, we are an inclusive school, so we are not prescribing the type of student that comes to our school. We want to provide a place for all children to thrive, because every child is different and every child has different strengths and different weaknesses. Our mission is to let every child get better, no matter where they are, and to encourage all those children to find their passion and to, you know, develop the skills they need to be successful, not just in our school, but also when they leave our school. Most probably is the Lunar New Year, because when I came to Malaysia, obviously I didn't know anything about lion dances, and I've enjoyed experiencing that. But I've also enjoyed learning about Deepavali, I've enjoyed learning about Hari Raya, I've enjoyed, you know, getting to understand all the ceremonies. I've also been, we've got a very rich community of people from 37 different nationalities. But what I enjoy most is even when I'm in my office, I get to come out and I get to see when the children are out and about at lunchtime or break time on the playground. And I really enjoy seeing them, you know, interact with each other. So I think that's my favorite part of the day, is actually seeing everybody out, everybody mixing together, enjoying, you know, being out and communicating with each other. For us, obviously, right now, I would have to say our STEAM Fest, because we are in the STEAM engine, which is our new building that we're about to launch on the 29th of this month. And so for the last 3 years, we've had this big STEAM festival, which we have towards the end of the academic year. And I think that's a great opportunity, because we always have about 1,000 people coming in for us to showcase the learning of our students. Yes, it's open to the public. Yes, I think it's really important. As I said before, we're not a selective school, so we try to support every child, and part of that is through our, obviously, students that come here that don't speak English, how we support them to get better and learn to speak English, but also how we encourage people to be open about talking about their different cultures. So international mindedness is a very important part of our school community, and that means international mindedness means the ability to have your own belief and your own culture, but also respect the beliefs and cultures of others. And so every time we have a festival or an event like Chinese New Year or Deepavali, our children learn about it. For example, even if you're not Hindu, during Deepavali, all the children learn about the meaning of Deepavali, and they learn the dances, and our parents get to dance and perform. And so I think that creates that inclusivity where I am free to be who I am, but I also know that having my own belief and my own culture also means that I have to have a respect for cultures that are different from oneself. So I think that's how we promote inclusivity. Parent Association is very active. What we do is we try to make parents feel very welcome when they come in. So in our Parents Association, we have a Korean representative, we have a Japanese representative, a representative for our mainland Chinese community, and they will make sure that those families, when they're new, they get settled, they find friends, they learn where to go, if they want to do shopping, they want to buy something, particular, like some of our Korean parents want to know where can I buy some Korean groceries. We've got a community of parents that will help. And if our parents want to come to meetings and they don't speak English, we will also ask one of our parents that does speak English and can translate to come with the parents to support them. Obviously, we provide free English lessons for all our parents, and we've actually just been watching some of our parents this afternoon, and that's 3 times a week, and that's to help our parents learn English. So we try to support our families because it's not just about the children are coming as part of a family. So we don't just have to support the child, we have to also support the rest of the family. Yes. This, I think, is something that we're really proud of. I say quite openly that I think we are the best school on the island in terms of what we do to support students who don't speak English. And I think that I'm not uncomfortable saying that. There's lots of other things I would say that, there's loads of international schools on the island, and I wouldn't make a claim about other things. But I think in terms of English support, I really do firmly believe we are the best at it. At the moment, more than 17 members of staff on our campus that are only employed to support children that don't speak English. So we have to assess them when they come in, and then based on the assessment of their English, we decide what pathway they need to follow. Some of them might be in an immersion program, which is where they spend the first term a few hours every day only learning English, and those may be for students that speak absolutely no English. We also have online learning before the students actually arrive in our campus. So at the moment, we've got students who are joining us in August, and for the last 3 months, they've been learning English online in small groups. We have a very, very good online English teacher. She's based in KL, but she provides all the online learning for our students. And we can really see the students that have done 3 months with her before they arrive in our school, they've got a very good foundation of survival English. So we've got that program in place before they arrive. Then once they get here, they're either in our immersion program or they are in our ELP program. So we have ELP1 and ELP2. Yes, I think they need to just be patient with themselves. I think that's really important. I think not just for the students, but also for the parents. I mean, although I speak English, moving to any country is going to be challenging, even if you move to a country that speaks the same language as you. So I think what's really important is to just breathe and realize that nothing's going to happen overnight. Everything takes time. It takes time for the parents to settle in. It takes time for the parents to figure out where to find things in Penang. It takes time for the children to, get to grips with the curriculum, because it might be a different curriculum from the one in the country that they're in. But one thing they will never struggle with is to make friends. Our students are always really, really happy. As long as your child is happy, don't be so stressed about my child is, not made as much progress this week. The most important thing is your child happy, and is your child able to, be in a place where they can get better. And then everything else will follow after that. Be open to being in a good struggle is what we say. In this steam engine, we've obviously got 3 floors. The bottom floor is our technologies. Come back to this bit that we're in a minute. But the bottom floor for the students is where we've got our technologies, like our graphic design, art facilities, our maker space, which is where our younger children get to develop their first idea of design engineering process. So they get to build and make things. It's also where we have our robotics, which we introduced this year across the school, and that's very popular. We've got an XR lab that's designed at the moment, which is going to be where students can actually design augmented reality. So not just put on the headsets and live in a Disneyland, they're actually learning the skills of creating augmented reality. And then we've obviously got our food technology room, which is where our students can learn the value of nutrition and can design their own recipes and think about things like sustainable food and food waste, etc. And then on the second floor, we've got our expressive arts. So it's our music room, which is a music suite. We've got a performance space where children can perform with instruments. We've also got a recording studio, which is where our students will actually be able to record their own music. And then we've got a music media suite where students will use things like Apple Macs to design and create music. And we also have our black box theatre, which is a completely black space where children can do drama with a stage, a backstage area where they can do their makeup and their performance. And then on the third floor, we have our science labs, and we're really proud of those spaces because we've tried to design labs that look almost like a medical facility. They're very clean, and our maths classrooms. And then obviously this space that we're in will be our space for our parents. Yes, so there's a cafe, which will have 2 areas, which is an outside cafe and an indoor cafe. This is a space for our parents to come and sit in the morning and have a coffee and a cake or a sandwich and chat, to just talk to each other. And also we've got an auditorium next door that we're building, which is going to seat about 470 people. So that will enable us to have proper productions, full-scale theatre performances. Wow, that's a really difficult question. I'm a caffeine addict, so I would say that if you ask me about where my favorite place in Penang is, if I think about 2 places, Georgetown is obviously amazing because the heritage, the culture, there's so much history in Penang. And so just walking around Georgetown, you can see so much of what was the traditional cultures in Penang, but also the modern Penang. And there's amazing cafes and restaurants. So I think Armenian Street in Georgetown is probably somewhere that everybody needs to go. But then I also think that going up Penang Hill is really great. Yes, it's a lovely cafe. There's also habitat there if you like nature. It's a little bit cooler. And they have the most amazing gardens, and you just get this view of Penang, and it just gives you that perspective. Yes, yeah.